to a packed house at the Dell, the ground of Southampton Football Club, for their match against Liverpool, which I must say, as I drove down, I found myself anticipating with greater relish than any other game so far this season. And judging by the atmosphere in the ground, I was not alone. Your commentator, John Watson.
The long-awaited first-hand comparison between Kevin Keegan and the man who replaced him at Liverpool, Kenny Dalglish, takes place today against a backcloth of injury. Keegan's hamstring trouble means he is less than 100% fit, while Dalglish received an ankle injury in Finland in midweek and had treatment on Friday night before passing a fitness test. Keegan returns after missing the last 3 Southampton matches to replace Charlie George, who's been suspended by the club after last week's incident with a photographer. Otherwise, Southampton are unchanged. Last season's top scorer in Division 1, Phil Boyer, was on target against Liverpool, home and away. Liverpool, who lost here 3-2 last season, field the side which drew in the European Cup. Abby Cohen is preferred to Alan Kennedy at left back. Sammy Lee and David Fairclough continue in place of Jimmy Case and David Johnson, who've both been injured. Once again, an all-ticket crowd at the Dell. The limit is 24,000, and many Liverpool supporters are locked outside, unable to get tickets. And joining us on the camera rostrum at the Dell this afternoon, Charlie George. With him there, the Southampton coach, Ian Brandfoot. The referee today is Tom Bune from Cranley in Surrey. Not often you see Liverpool wearing yellow, but here's Mike Shannon for Southampton, who are in the red and white, playing from the left. Graham Souness held back and arm in the mouth of Mike Shannon. Southampton manager about to take his seat, saying this match is his team's fiercest test. Ray Kennedy's header, then Fairclough. And Nicol in front of Watson. Ivan Golak. Looking for Keegan. Being marked there by Hansen and dispossessed by Cohen. Sammy Lee chasing McCartney, and the back pass was cut off by Dalglish. Hansen. Ray Kennedy well forward. Opposite number 5, Dave Watson found Golak, and good running forward by Steve Williams here. Number 4, looking for Baker, found Keegan. That was Souness. There was appeal for handball, but not given. McCartney. Williams and Hansen with an important interception. Dalglish. Neil, Dalglish again, Keegan. Oh, that was a bit late on Kevin Keegan by Graham Souness. And the referee wants a word. And Keegan limping away. And Souness, who has been known to make the first tackle tell, gets a ticking off. McCartney. Holmes. Keegan and Thompson this time. And a foul by Sammy Lee. And now we can see Watson and Nicol making their way up into the Liverpool penalty area. They like to come in from beyond the far post from the kicker. Away by Souness as far as Baker. Handball by Dalglish was the appeal, and it's been waved away. But here comes Steve Williams. Oh, it's going to come to Golak to shoot. And the wrong side of the post. Well, before that happened, the Southampton players appealed for handball against Kenny Dalglish in the penalty area. And when the move continued, it was Golak who had the final shot into the side netting. It's a progressive start by Southampton, and a fairly determined one by Liverpool in terms of their tackling. Hence the boos of the home crowd. Oh, Dalglish getting away from Nicol for a moment. Lovely atmosphere at the Dell these days. Baker. Terry McDermott. It's going to fall for Souness, and Liverpool have got 5 players in attack here. Souness into the gap. Beautifully done. A goal by Souness, but tremendous credit for off-the-ball running by Kenny Dalglish, which perhaps wasn't appreciated by the crowd, but what a wonderful example there of how one man can make space for another. Dalglish went to the left, 2 Southampton players went with him. Souness used the gap to the right, and his low right foot shot beat Peter Wells down by his right-hand side. Liverpool take the lead after 8 minutes. In the way, Ray Kennedy. So Dalglish, who slipped there, has started the personal comparison with Keegan by making the first important contribution. Made room for Souness to shoot the goal. It's Baker. Leaning by Phil Thompson on Phil Boyer. Southampton's defeat at Norwich last week was their first in the league this season, and they've gone a goal down early on here at home, so it's an interesting test of their character. Holmes. Deflection sending the ball out for a corner. Nicol coming in at the back, and a good save by Ray Clements from Chris Nicol, who scored up at Sunderland when we saw Southampton on Match of the Day a few weeks ago. Clements very alert. That's Fairclough. And Dalglish. Oof. Southampton nearly their own worst enemies there. Just can't afford to relax when you're playing against Liverpool. Not in any part of the pitch. Golak. This is Keegan. It's Golak again, turned in. Oh, he's offside, is he? Boyer was completely free. And the linesman's flag stayed down, and Liverpool were lucky. All right across to Watson, and there's Nicol! Chris Nicol does it again. 2 appearances on Match of the Day and 2 goals. The corner curled across by Nick Holmes. flicked on, Dave Watson got the first touch in, and Chris Nicol, through a crowd of players, makes the score 1-1. With 16 minutes gone. There's Fairclough. That's Kennedy. Shannon, flicked on to Shannon by Keegan, and there was an excellent chance for Southampton to take the lead. Keegan made it possible with that typical flick, and Shannon was right through and shot straight at Clements, who, to be fair to him, had advanced quickly. You can't be offside from a throw-in. Here's Dalglish, and he drives straight at the goalkeeper. Would you believe it? First at one end, then the other. Two internationals clean through. First Shannon for Southampton, and then Dalglish for Liverpool. The angle not perfect, and credit to Peter Wells. This is Williams. Foul by Souness. There's Keegan. Well, the referee is still talking to Souness about that last incident, and that's the second time he's spoken to him today. Souness was warned early on for the first tackle on Keegan, driven by Williams, the man who he fouled most recently. Ball again coming fast off this wet surface, shooting through from one goalkeeper's clearance straight through to his opposite number. Neil. Foul by McDermott as he jumped with Holmes. Dave Watson is up on the near post as we look. There's Holmes. It's going to come to Williams. Interesting to see whether Steve Williams follows Brian Robson and Graham Ricks, two of his colleagues at under-21 level, into the full England team in the near future. There are many people who feel he deserves a chance. Cohen. Fairclough. Foul by Nicol. Play in the first half pretty even. Southampton, as you might expect, having a shade more of the ball for the home side, but the score 1-1. Here's Williams. Shannon trying to hold off Dalglish and trying to put Holmes away, intercepted by Neil, and on the break Sammy Lee with Dalglish inside, on to Fairclough. And several players now losing their footing as the pitch gets increasingly slippery. This is Keegan. He's made his run forward again now, so has Boyer. That's Hansen, that's Thompson. This is Baker to Holmes. And Boyer nipping in. Boyer's there! It's Boyer's first goal of the season, the man who scored 25 last year. And he scored in both matches against Liverpool too last season, and now he cashes in on a mistake by Abby Cohen. The ball not played back properly, and Boyer ripping in between Cohen and Clements to make it 2-1 to Southampton. 33 minutes gone. Says a great deal for the morale of this Southampton side. A goal down, now a goal in front. Here's Shannon. Baker's made a good run through. Here he is. Good save by Clements, but offside. Offside against perhaps Baker or maybe even Holmes, who was in there with him. That was Nicol. Here's Watson. Hansen behind Keegan, and Watson just got caught there by Sammy Lee. Sammy Lee, the smallest man on the field, gets the yellow card. He just caught Dave Watson as the Southampton number 5 came tearing past him. Fans needing the umbrellas, but well pleased, I would think, with the level of entertainment in this first half. Southampton leading by 2-1 on a ground where they can do little wrong, it seems, at present, and where the atmosphere in this tight enclosure always makes it a pleasure to watch football. Again, Southampton come forward. Golak this time. Again, Keegan. And Cohen happy for Hansen to take over. Kennedy, what's intended for Lee. It would have been a fine ball had he been able to control it a little bit more. Beautiful layoff just then from Kevin Keegan as he was whacked from behind. He got his touch in. And a shove by Mike Shannon. In the best of spirits when I saw him before the match. His horse has been doing well recently, he's told me. Here's Ray Kennedy. That's a good ball in for Lee. It's going to come to Dalglish. McDermott's pulled away at the far post if he can be found. And they found Souness. No, they haven't, because Baker made a tremendous challenge. But still Liverpool press and offside. Well, there really was an excellent tackle by Graham Baker in the Southampton penalty area there on Souness, which prevented Liverpool from getting back to 2-2. And the crowd applaud a very good half. There were mistakes, but those made the match more exciting. Liverpool taking the lead through Graham Souness. Southampton levelling 8 minutes later, following a corner, the scorer Chris Nicol. And then after 33 minutes, a mistake in the defence, and it was Phil Boyer who cashed in to make the half-time score. Southampton 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool's away form this season has been disappointing by their standards. They've lost at Leicester and at Bradford City. They've drawn at Coventry, Birmingham, and in the European Cup in Finland. And they're 2-1 down here, playing now from left to right. Souness to Neil. That was Dalglish, who was caught by Steve Williams. Souness with the kick. It was on by Hansen. This is Golak. And the shove was by Abby Cohen. Here's Williams. Oh, Keegan in space, offside, I think. Holmes, Keegan, Shannon in the middle, Boyer being joined by two others now, but not far enough forward. There goes Sammy Lee, but he's offside. And somebody has spoken out of turn, and the referee wants to speak to Terry McDermott. Yellow card is shown. And an indirect free kick will be given for ungentlemanly conduct. So that's put Southampton in an attacking position. Shannon closing at the back. Oh, appeals there by Shannon, nothing given. Liverpool are living very dangerously in defence today. That was Nicol. Golak, Watson is still forward. Another bad ball, this time by Hansen. This is Baker. McCartney. That's a fine ball. Golak forward on the right. Fairclough has got back. Liverpool still some way below championship form. Here's Williams for Southampton. Keegan. That was Hansen's challenge. The linesman is flagging for a free kick. Williams has taken it quickly, and he's put Golak behind the defence, and Boyer! Offside has been given by the linesman on the far side. But Golak's quick thinking very nearly caught Liverpool unawares. Ray Kennedy has pushed well forward here. That's Chris Nicol. That's Dalglish. Bob Paisley was unhappy with Liverpool's performance here last season when they lost 3-2, and he won't be too pleased at the moment today. And McDermott is going to come off, and Colin Irwin is coming on. So we'll see how they readjust with Colin Irwin, who is nominally a defender. He scored down here last season, Colin Irwin, in Liverpool's 3-2 defeat by Southampton. Neil with the kick, turned in by Cohen, who's there again. Hansen, Baker, Lee. That was Dalglish. Ray Kennedy now. Souness. Irwin. Neil. Thompson. Liverpool's turn now to enjoy the greater share of possession. Good ball to Souness from Thompson. Looking for Dalglish on the far side, stretching Southampton's defence somewhat. But Dave Watson getting in the way. Out by Shannon, Souness, Irwin, Kennedy. Holmes robbing Kennedy and almost putting Keegan away. While Liverpool push forward as they've got to do, Southampton might catch them on the break. Here's Hansen. Ray Kennedy stealing in here, got a touch on it, Dalglish is coming in. It's come to Souness! Dalglish, Fairclough, oh, McCartney on the line. Was it handball? A penalty for handball, is it? A penalty has been given. A penalty has been given, and a yellow card as well for deliberate handball to Mike McCartney. Fairclough's shot was bound for the net, and McCartney, putting the arm up, knocked the ball over the bar, and he's booked for deliberate handball, and Liverpool have a penalty, and McDermott, who took a penalty last season against Southampton, has been removed anyway and substituted, so it's going to be Phil Neal, another experienced penalty taker. Oh, he's hit the post. And cleared by Holmes. So a missed penalty, which could cost Liverpool dear. Phil Neal hasn't missed many. It isn't his first miss. He's normally so accurate, and he'd hit the post. With Wells going the right way. Lee. Oh, good header out by Chris Nicholl. Well, the interesting thing about that is that had McDermott been on the field, he may well have taken the penalty himself. But there goes Neal trying to make amends. 3 in the centre. Fairclough. Phil Neal, who missed the penalty, got away on the left. The cross eluded McCartney, and Fairclough came in. And Liverpool are level anyway, only a minute or so after missing a penalty. 2-2. Just the sort of entertainment that football badly needs to display at the moment. And it comes from teams second and third in the First Division before today. And it's now anybody's match. Shannon. Here's Williams. That's a foul by Hansen. Referee wants a word with Hansen. Yellow card for Alan Hansen. So that's the 4th booking of the match. Lee, McDermott, McCartney and Hansen. Golak takes the kick. Oh, he doesn't, because the referee wants to give Hansen the chance to regain his defensive position. Oof! Corner. Coming over the top, but Steve Williams slipped when he needed to keep his balance. And look at that back heel by Kenny Dalglish to Abby Cohen. Well, that's Keegan on Cohen. And now I think the referee wants to speak to the European Footballer of the Year and give him the yellow card. So Keegan booked against his old club. We're in stoppage time anyway. And there isn't very much of that. Well, that was a full-blooded, entertaining match in many ways. There were 4 goals, there were 5 bookings, there was a missed penalty. So nobody can complain about lack of incident. David Fairclough equalised for Liverpool to earn them a point and spoil Southampton's 100% home record. But Liverpool are still looking for their first away win. The referee, who cautioned 5 players, among them the Southampton captain, Kevin Keegan, who finishes up on level terms with his old club, with a final score here of Southampton 2, Liverpool 2. Referee being booed off because the crowd clearly unhappy about the way some of the decisions went against Southampton.
Well, I reckon that was a fair result. For what they put into it, neither side deserved to come away empty-handed. But that point that each got enabled Nottingham Forest to jump above both of them as a result of their 5-0 win over Leicester. And I don't suppose Liverpool will need reminding that Everton, who also won 5-0, are in the elite part of the table once again. And after that vigorous 90 minutes action at Southampton, I spoke to a man who'd been in the thick of most of it. That was Graham Souness, and asked him, was the game too physical for his liking?
Providing it's not too nasty. A lot of things have been said in the press in the last few weeks because of crowd balance and things. I think if you say a toothy game, that all adds to English football, for me anyway. I think that's what a lot of people come to see, people competing. And today the pitch was a bit slippery later on. And of course you're going to get people bumping into each other.
Was there any need before the game between any Liverpool player and Kevin?
None at all. Kevin's thought very highly at Liverpool, amongst the players, the coaching staff, and of course our supporters. There's no ill feeling at all towards Kevin.
And in your book, today's game didn't go beyond the pale. In other words, it was short of a line.
I don't think so. Early on it was dry and the ball ran truly and people could keep their feet. And like I said, the drizzle came down and made it a bit slippery. And people are bumping into each other. Like I said, I think it adds to English football because that's what English football's all about. They say it's the hardest league in the world, and games like today prove it, I think.
Well refereed?
There's some decisions which I thought weren't too good, but then again, I've never played in a game where I thought the referee's been perfect. It's diplomatic.
Well, more of that later, but that was such a first-class game of football and there was so much good about it, the last thing I would want to do would be to get anything out of proportion. It had everything, but mostly commitment by both sides and the fans as well, which produced pulsating excitement throughout. Two magic moments for me were the save that Ray Clements made from Phil Boyer's well-directed and most powerful header there. Really first class. I know it's his favourite left hand, but he did get there well. And this half-volley through pass from Graham Souness, it was inch perfect to glide past that defender, and it presented David Fairclough with the most favourable scoring chance. And there can't be much wrong with a game that produces that kind of artistry. Yet despite the point each, no one afterwards felt the warm glow of satisfaction that they should have done. Why was that? Well, the Sunday papers blamed the referee, among other things. No quotes from Bob Paisley, you'll notice. He chose not to speak to the press in case he said the wrong thing. Well, 24 hours afterwards, I'd like to say the right thing, but exactly what is it? Well, I'll try. First, I think the tape of this game should be studied by the authorities because it clearly demonstrated the gulf there is between the thinking of players and referees. It's obvious that players now feel they can deceive the average referee by sleight of foot. For instance, in your opinion, do the following three incidents, all attempts to win the ball in my view, merit a yellow card? I couldn't care less which way round they are, but all three victims recovered quite quickly, it seemed. The first one here is Hansen on Williams, and Williams took up a very tight position against the touchline. There was hardly room to get round anyway, but he hesitated, almost inviting a tackle, or inviting the tackler to be deceived. Hansen went in, the ball went into touch, and Hansen ended up with a yellow card. Then the next one was Keegan with his second attempt to get the ball on Cohen. Now, what I would be thinking here is he going for the ball? He certainly is there. And as he chases again, his foot's going in the direction of the ball, but it does get Cohen's ankle on the way there. He may have been hurt, but was the intention there to kick the player? And the last one here, Sammy Lee going up high for that ball with Watson. In my mind, he went for the ball. It did hurt Watson, who falls to the ground, but he's done the same sort of thing himself on other occasions. So 3 offences for which players got the yellow card. But on the other hand, I do think there was a little unnecessary needle about the game. Graham Souness says it adds excitement. Well, lions eating Christians might have been exciting, but my point is that the offences the players would have been worried about went unpunished. Now, here are 3 of them. And the first one was Graham Souness himself, going in rather late on Kevin Keegan. Kevin's collecting the ball here. Souness, you can see, knows the ball's going, but he goes in with a lunge. Keegan falls, and there's an explanation here that that was a dive. Late tackle, not dangerous, not really going to hurt anybody, but it was late and not for the ball, and it let Keegan know that he was there for the rest of the game. But now, other tackles coming up, which in my view were more dangerous. Kenny Dalglish now involved in the next 2. Studd showing there as he went through on that tackle, and as it happened, the ball invited the same sort of challenge straight afterwards, and the Studds are up once more there. Now, fortunately, nobody got hurt, but that's the sort of thing that would worry me if I was playing, as would this last tackle on Kennedy, who's receiving the ball here from Kevin Keegan. He's made one attempt, and as Kennedy clears it, there's the bottom of the boot, the studs, for Kennedy to kick against. Well, he got a bruise there. He might have got anything. And Keegan apologised twice to Ray Kennedy immediately after, and his apology seemed to be accepted. Now, let's get it clear. I'm not blaming any individual for it. But my point is, again, that when it comes to the production of yellow and red cards, those who play the game and those who referee it are a million miles away from sharing common ground. And that's dangerous and bad for the game. Yesterday proved that if we could just remove that blemish and get players and referees to realise that they're fellow performers on a stage and part of the same game, English League football would become so much more enjoyable for everyone.